Hello, driven dietitians. I am Emily Zucker. I am an insurance-based private practice dietitian, and I want to share a proud private practice accomplishment with you. Not only to tell you what's possible, but I want to guide you exactly through how I grew my private practice into my thriving full-time role. So last week, I went to my accountant and he gave me my final numbers for 2025, and my mind was blown. Between 2024 and 2025, I was able to quadruple my revenue while taking insurance. I literally 4 times my revenue as an insurance-based dietitian over the span of 1 year. And when I first started accepting insurance, I heard all the complaints, the limitations, the worries about adding insurance to private practice because the effort, the admin, the energy was way more time consuming than the money coming in. But it turns out that is not the case for me. And it doesn't have to be the case for you either. So I want to run you through the top 3 things that I did in my private practice that made this possible as a little mini training for you. So the number one thing that I started to do in 2025 was form relationships with other providers. So this alone brought in so many client referrals, and it took minimal marketing time, especially on social media. So I actually scaled my social media back in 2025, which brought me so much more energy, so much more clarity, so much more just freedom and time. And I was getting in more referrals from having these relationships with other providers. Another tool that I use in my private practice, and something that I think is so important, is perfecting or honing in the client experience, which brings in organic word of mouth referrals. When I first started with a cash pay model, I did do a referral incentive program for clients. So if they referred their friends, then they would get an incentive. But with the insurance base, that had to shift a little bit. So if you offer cash-based services, this is something that you could utilize. But if you do offer an insurance model, this is something you'll want to check your insurance contracts and kind of check with the legalities of the specific insurance companies and the specific insurance contracts. But I still had that practice of getting clients to refer me their clients. And so I was able to get current clients into my world. They're referring me clients to build into my practice. So they get that experience that they're enjoying, and they go to their friends and tell them, hey, I had this amazing experience with Emily. Let's go ahead and tell you about it. They come into my world, and I get another client who I get to have as a long-term client and gets to bring in the reimbursements consistently. So that's something that helped me really boost my revenue from 2024 to 2025 is more clients and the client experience that I was providing. The third aspect that I want to share with you is something that I think a lot of dietitians are more hesitant to do if they're in private practice, and it was being open-minded to adding more obscure insurances to my practice. So keeping my mind open that I may have to add more insurances to my collection of insurance that I'm contract with, because I was getting referrals from providers and current clients were shifting their insurance coverages year to year. And so I was getting these requests from people who were outside of maybe the more popular insurance companies like Blue Cross or Aetna or United Healthcare. So a couple of times this last year, I had to go through and get my contract with a different insurance that's more obscure, for say, a smaller scale insurance company. And this allowed me to speak with that client and tell them, hey, I'm doing this for you. Can you kind of tell me is that something you're still going to want support with in 3 months when it takes time? And turns into a long-term client, which helps continue to bring in consistent revenue. So this is something that was actually pretty easy for me because I know exactly how to get contract with insurance companies. So I can do this with insurance company after insurance company. So if you are considering taking insurance or starting your private practice and accepting insurance, or you've been taking insurance for a few years now, and you want to increase your revenue and add ease into your business, I'm here to help you. I mentor dietitians in their insurance-based private practice, and you can fill out the inquiry form below if that sounds like something that you would benefit from. Because you dietitians deserve to build a sustainable practice, a profitable practice, and a business that you feel proud of. So follow for more videos on insurance support in your private practice. Check out the other videos, check out my Instagram, whatever you want to do, I'm here to support you.